Episode 7, The Pied Piper of Darkness. Part 1, Once Upon a Time. Before the seals broke, before darkness conquered, there was a town called Melodia where music was life itself. Every child learned an instrument before they could properly walk. Every celebration, every morning, every ordinary Tuesday was accompanied by song. And of all the musicians in Melodia, none was more beloved than Philly the Piper. Philly wasn't just talented, he was touched by magic. His flute, carved from a branch of the world tree itself, could make the lame dance, the sorrowful laugh, and the hardest hearts soften. Children would follow him through the streets as he played, creating parades of joy wherever he went.
Play us the song about the dragon.
No, the one about the sailing ship.
The butterfly song. Play the butterfly song.
And Philly would play them all, his fingers dancing across the silver flute, his whole being radiating the simple happiness of someone who had found their purpose. In the same era, in forests where mushroom rings grew in perfect circles, lived the Tooth Fairy, though her real name was Luminara. She was ancient but appeared as a young woman with gossamer wings that caught moonlight like spider silk. Her purpose was sacred, to collect the baby teeth children lost, each one containing a fragment of innocence, and transform them into stars.
Every star you see was once a tooth from a child who was loved.
She would leave gifts, not just coins, but dreams of flying, of courage, of love that would sustain them through life's harder moments. She was, in her own quiet way, a guardian of childhood itself. Neither Philly nor Luminara knew that the Dark Lord watched them from his prison beyond the seals. He had watched them for centuries, these two beings of pure purpose, and he had plans for them. Part 2, The Summoning. When the seals shattered and the Dark Lord rose, his first action wasn't conquest, it was collection. He desired servants, but not just any servants. He wanted to corrupt the incorruptible, to turn symbols of joy into instruments of despair.
Bring me the Piper of Melodia, and the Tooth Fairy, alive, unharmed. I want them fresh.
The demons found Philly first. He was leading a group of children to safety, using his music to keep them calm as the world burned around them. His flute played a protective melody, one that actually held the lesser demons at bay. But then the Collector arrived, a demon specifically designed to capture without killing. It moved like smoke, and Philly's music passed through it without effect.
Run! Run!
They scattered, and Philly turned to face the demon, raising his flute like a weapon. But the Collector simply smiled with its smokeless face and engulfed him. Philly found himself nowhere and everywhere at once. Then suddenly he was in a throne room made of shadows, kneeling before something that shouldn't exist.
Philly the Piper, I've so enjoyed your performances over the years.
Part 3, The Fairy's Capture. Luminara was harder to find. She existed between moments, in the space between wake and sleep. But the Dark Lord was patient. He waited until she came for a tooth, a little girl's first lost tooth, special because the child had been born on the night the seals broke. As Luminara materialized beside the child's bed, she felt it immediately, wrongness. The tooth under the pillow wasn't white but black, not innocent but corrupted. It was a trap.
Hello, little fairy.
Luminara tried to flee, to shift between dimensions, but the corrupted tooth had already touched her. It spread like infection through her gossamer wings, turning them gray then black. She fell to the floor, her magic failing.
No! The children need!
The children need to learn that there is no magic but mine. And you're going to teach them.
Part 4, The Corruption Begins. In his throne room, the Dark Lord had both Philly and Luminara bound with chains made from corrupted prayers. They couldn't break them, couldn't escape, could only watch as he explained their fate.
I could simply kill you, or torture you into insanity. But that would be wasteful. You two have such unique talents, such connection to innocence.
We'll never serve you.
Oh, but you will. Not because you choose to, but because I'll make it the only choice that makes sense. Do you know what's happening right now? Children are dying. Hundreds of them. Thousands. Their last thoughts are wondering why the Piper isn't coming to save them with his magic music.
Philly broke down sobbing. Each tear that fell turned to ice before hitting the ground.
And you. All those teeth you collected over millennia, all those stars you created, I'm extinguishing them. One by one. Each star that goes dark is a child's innocence destroyed forever.
Please, please don't.
But I'm reasonable. Serve me, and I'll stop. Refuse, and I'll accelerate. I'll make you watch every star die.
Part 5. The First Breaking. For 7 days and 7 nights, the Dark Lord worked on them. Not with crude torture, but with visions. He showed Philly every child who had ever loved his music dying horribly, calling his name. He showed him the town of Melodia burning, its music halls collapsing, its instruments turned to weapons of war.
You could have saved them. If you had been stronger. If your music had been more powerful. You failed them all.
Philly's mind began to crack. His memories of joy turned sour. Every happy song he'd ever played now seemed like mockery in the face of such suffering. The flute in his hands felt like a betrayal. For Luminara, it was worse. The Dark Lord showed her the truth about teeth, that they contained not just innocence but potential. Every tooth she'd taken had robbed a child of a possible future. She'd been stealing, not preserving.
You thought you were giving them dreams. But you were stealing their essence. You're not a fairy. You're a parasite.
That's not true.
Isn't it? Why do children fear losing teeth? Because instinctively they know something precious is being taken. And you, sweet fairy, you've been the thief all along.
Part 6. The Bargain. On the 8th day, the Dark Lord made his offer.
Philly, I will give you power. Real power. Your music won't just entertain, it will compel. You can lead children away from suffering. Give them peaceful deaths instead of horrible ones. Isn't that mercy?
Lead them away from suffering?
Yes. Play your flute, and they'll follow you somewhere there's no pain. No fear. Just ending. Clean and simple. Or leave them to be torn apart by demons. Your choice.
To Luminara, he offered something different.
I'll let you continue collecting teeth. But instead of making stars, you'll make something better. You'll make my soldiers. Each tooth, properly corrupted, can create a perfect little warrior. Children who feel no pain, no fear, no doubt. They'll be free from the burden of choice.
That's monstrous.
Is it more monstrous than letting them suffer normal human lives? Disease, heartbreak, aging, death, I'm offering to spare them all of that. They'll be eternal, powerful, purposeful.
Part 7. The Music Changes. Philly broke first. It happened when the Dark Lord showed him a group of children cornered by demons. They were singing his butterfly song, hoping he would come. The demons were taking their time, playing with their food.
Save them. Play, and they'll follow you to peaceful sleep. Refuse, and watch them be eaten alive.
Philly took the flute with shaking hands. When he played, the music that came out was different, darker, minor key, hypnotic. The children's eyes glazed over. They walked past the demons, who stepped aside and followed Philly to a cliff's edge.
Sleep now.
He whispered, tears streaming down his face as he played the final note. They jumped, all of them, smiling as they fell.
Beautiful. You've saved them from so much suffering. You're a hero, Philly. A dark hero, but a hero nonetheless.
Philly looked at the flute in his hands. It had turned from silver to black, and strange new holes had appeared. Holes that would play notes human ears had never heard.
Children, I'll take thee away into my kingdom where shadows play. My tune is sweet, my promise true. Just take my hand, I'll care for you.
Follow the sound, follow the call, into the darkness, one and all.
Welcome to my realm of endless night, where innocence dies in failing light. The piper's tune has led you to your doom. This kingdom is your eternal tongue. I am the shepherd of the lost and damned, leading the mass with my
Part 8. The Tooth Fairy's Curse. Luminara held out longer, but the Dark Lord was patient. He brought her a child, a little girl whose parents had sold her for food. The girl was dying slowly and painfully from a disease that rotted her from within.
Her last baby tooth is about to fall out. Take it, and I'll end her suffering. Take it and transform it as I've taught you, and she'll become something that never suffers again. Refuse, and she dies over the next 3 days in agony that would make demons wince.
The little girl looked up at Luminara with eyes full of pain.
Please. Please, fairy. It hurts so much.
Luminara reached out with trembling fingers and touched the loose tooth. As she did, she let the Dark Lord's corruption flow through her into it. The tooth came free, turning black in her palm.
Now, the transformation.
Luminara spoke words that tasted like ashes.
Little tooth, little bone, become something of my own. Not a star up in the sky, but a soldier who won't die.
The tooth dissolved into dark mist that flowed into the little girl. Her pain vanished instantly. Her eyes went black. She stood, no longer dying, no longer suffering, no longer truly human.
Thank you. I feel nothing now. It's perfect.
Luminara collapsed, sobbing. Her wings, once gossamer and light, had turned to something like bat leather. The Dark Lord patted her head mockingly.
You've saved her? You're still a fairy godmother, just adjusted for the times.
Part 9. The New Roles. The Dark Lord gave them new names, new purposes. Philly became the Pied Piper of Darkness. His role? To walk the earth, playing his cursed flute, leading children away from their homes. Not by force, but by making his music so beautiful, so compelling, that they would choose to follow. He would lead them to collection points where they would be transformed into perfect little servants of darkness.
Come, little children, I'll take thee away into a land of enchantment. Come, little children, the time's come to play here in my garden of shadows.
Children would leave their beds at night, walking past their sleeping parents, following the music that promised them everything they'd ever wanted. They would never be seen again, except sometimes, in the Dark Lord's armies, their faces blank and perfect and terrible. Luminara became the Tooth Fairy's curse. She would still visit children who lost teeth, but now she would leave more than coins. She would leave cursed candy that looked perfect, tasted perfect, but contained concentrated corruption. One bite would begin the transformation. The children would still seem normal during the day, but at night, they would become something else, collectors of souls, hunters of innocence.
Just one taste, just one bite. Sweet as honey, light as air. Just one taste, and you'll be free from every worry, every care.
Part 10. The First Harvest. The Dark Lord sent them out for their first harvest on a blood moon night. Philly walked through a village playing his new song. The notes drifted through windows, under doors, into dreams. One by one, children rose from their beds, their eyes empty, their movements puppet-like. They followed him in a line, holding hands, humming along to his melody. Parents who woke found their children's beds empty and the lingering sound of a flute in the air. They would run outside to see the procession disappearing into the darkness, their children walking willingly away. Those who tried to follow found their feet frozen, held by the music's power. They could only watch and weep.
Mama, the music is so pretty. I have to follow the pretty music.
By dawn, Philly had collected 43 children. He led them to a cave where demons waited with tools of transformation. He didn't stay to watch what happened next. He couldn't, but he could hear the screams turn to laughter. Horrible, empty laughter. Luminara worked differently. She visited 12 homes that night, leaving her cursed gifts. 12 children woke to find beautiful candy under their pillows, candy that sparkled like stars, that smelled like every good thing at once.
The Tooth Fairy came.
They squealed with delight. Every one of them ate the candy. Every one of them began to change. By the next full moon, they would be hunting their own siblings, their own friends, bringing them to the Dark Lord's servants for collection. Epilogue: what they became. Years passed. Philly and Luminara became legends of fear rather than joy. Parents would bar their windows when they heard rumors of flute music in neighboring towns. They would burn their children's fallen teeth rather than risk a visit from the corrupted fairy. Philly walked eternally, unable to stop playing, unable to stop leading children away. The flute had fused to his hands. He couldn't put it down even if he wanted to. The music played itself through him now, and sometimes he wasn't sure if he was the piper or just another instrument.
Come, little children, I'll take thee away.
Luminara flew eternally, visiting every child who lost a tooth, compelled by the curse to leave her gifts. She wept as she flew, and her tears turned to ice that fell like cursed hail. She would whisper apologies that the children couldn't hear.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Just don't eat it. Please don't eat it.
But they always ate it. Children always ate the candy. The Dark Lord sat on his throne, pleased with his work. He had taken two symbols of childhood joy and turned them into mechanisms of corruption. Every child taken by the piper, every child cursed by the fairy, added to his power.
The sweetest victories are the ones that corrupt innocence itself.
But somewhere, in a place even the Dark Lord couldn't see, a single child had heard the piper's music and chosen not to follow. Another had found the fairy's candy and chosen not to eat it. Small choices, insignificant rebellions. But even the mightiest darkness started with a single shadow. And light, true light, could begin with the smallest spark. End of episode 7.
Under your pillow while you sleep so tight, I come collecting in the dead of night. A shiny coin for every tooth you leave. But there's a secret you won't believe.
Sweet candy dreams and sugar lies behind my smile, a dark surprise. Just one taste, just one bite of my candy crystalline, sparkling sweet upon your tongue, forever young, forever Now you're mine, another fairy slave, trapped between the living and the grave. That tooth fairy's curse is real. Your human form begins to fade away. Wings of shadow grow where children play, collecting sweets for all eternity. Another servant in my dynasty. No escape from candy's spell. Welcome to your spiraling hell. Every child who takes the bait seals their supernatural fate. Sugar-coated slavery. Join my dark-tooth fairy army. Eternally collecting, never free. Enduring endless night, stealing teeth by candlelight. Once you were a child asleep, now you're cursed, forever creep. The candy sprays your mortal says the sweetness is your doom. Fairy wings inside your tongue.